students webinar. I have a presentation that I would like to go over first, with the hopes that it'll answer most of your questions. My name is Sunela Thomas. I'm the program director for the Masters in Business Analytics and AI program here at UTD. I have Sylvia Leventhal, who is a program manager for the same program. She has also joined this call. She will answer your questions in the chat. If she has an immediate link that she can share, we will do that right away. So just continue while I'm presenting. If questions pop in your mind, go ahead and post it in chat. I will also take the time to, in the end, answer your questions that was not able to be answered through a link or something like that, okay? So without further ado, again, my name is Sunela Thomas, and I have Sylvia Leventhal, who is also a program manager, join this call. So we talk about, basically in this call, why are we telling come to UTD to our MS in BA and AI program? One of the main reasons is that we have a diverse curriculum, meaning there are 11 tracks with over 80 courses that you can take. It is flexible, meaning that we have classes that are in the morning, early afternoon, late afternoon, evening. So there's flexibility in that. And there's also flexibility in terms of you can take online classes as well. A majority of our classes are in person. If you're an international student, I think there is a restriction that you can only take one online course in a given semester. We also have, I would brag about and say that we have expert instructors. Okay, they are not just educators, meaning they are not just PhD holders doing research and teaching. They're also renowned researchers, as well as many of them come from industry. I can tell you that I recently left corporate world, and I have been an adjunct professor here at UTD since 2016. So I do know about the higher education landscape. We also have industry connections, and particularly in DFW area, I would say there's an advantage to location. Okay, so we have a lot of companies, leading companies in the DFW Metroplex. DFW is also known as, well known for being the 4th largest metropolitan area in the US. It also ranks 3rd nationally for Fortune 500 company headquarters. So we do have quite a lot of companies that are headquartered or call DFW area as their home, from AT&T, Toyota, McKesson, Kimberly-Clark, what is the other one? Raytheon. So there's a couple of defense companies, TI, Texas Instruments, all of them, they have company headquarters here in the DFW area, which therefore UTD has close ties with these companies. Either we have instructors or guest speakers from there. We have alumni in those areas that can get connected for all the different activities in our Jindal School of Management. So what are the application requirements? Right. So for the master's program, not only do you have to meet the UTD graduate school requirements, you also have to meet the program-specific requirements. The application fee is a $50 non-refundable one. If you're an international student, there's also an additional $50 for foreign credential evaluation fee. Okay, we contract that out to a different company to do that. You're asked to provide a program or personal objective statement, right? Why do you want to come to our program? Not only that you want to come to UTD, Why business analytics and AI? What is it that drawing you to that particular higher education area? We want your resume. We also, while you're doing your application, you can submit your unofficial transcript. So later on, once you get admitted to the program, we ask that you submit your official transcript from the university or college that you studied. Okay. If you are an applicant who does not have more than 2 years of experience, we ask for 3 letters of recommendation. Now, those letters of recommendation will come directly from the recommender. So you put their information in the application and we provide them with a link. We send them a link to complete the recommendation. To the program, GRE and GMAT score is optional. If you submit it, we will use that for your application admission decision. If you don't submit it, we then don't consider it and then consider your application without that score. However, I would say if you have a good score, I think it is to your advantage to submit that score. Students also ask about scholarships. So scholarship is a separate application. It is not handled at the program level. It is handled at the university level. So all students who apply for multiple programs to that university, we consider them as for the scholarship, as a scholarship candidate. So therefore, you need a separate application for that. I'll provide you with the link if Sylvia hasn't provided you with one, that if you are looking for admission in spring, meaning that our classes start January 21st, 2025, your application for scholarship is due on December 1st. I always say that students, please don't wait till the last minute to apply for these things because always consider, what if you have an internet issue? What if you did not get a chance to submit it for some reason? You didn't have power, you didn't have your computer had issue. So don't wait till the very last minute to submit this application. With reference to TA or RA, research assistant or teaching assistant, this is available to students from the second semester. Even though the scholarship, you can apply and get it for the first semester, TA-ships will only get you in the second semester, mainly because we want to see what your grades are in the first semester. This also requires an application, so do not wait till the last minute to apply for that, because I always see students come and say, I was right there, but I was like a minute late. Well, cannot really do anything about it because this is a highly competitive application, both for scholarship as well as for the TA-ship. Now, I want to state a note on scholarship, right? Sometimes students, for some reason or other, applied, let's say, for spring 25. You got admitted, you got a scholarship, but you decide, I'm only going to come for fall 25. So you can defer a one-time deferral to your admission application, okay? However, if you defer your admission, scholarship is not automatically deferred. So you have to reapply for that scholarship. Another part to pay attention to, if you are a recipient of a scholarship, you must accept the scholarship admission into there, for lack of a better word, within that deadline. So therefore, monitor your emails and respond in a timely fashion. Our program, the Business Analytics and AI Master's Program, has 3 modalities. And the one that I am referring to is the one that we call as Flex. As the name indicates, there are 11 tracks. It's a face-to-face or online class. Majority, 99% of them is face-to-face. That's the beauty of it, because it gives you an opportunity to meet your peers, have that. Most of the graduate classes when you take, you want to think of the collaboration that you have with the professors, the industry experts that come into class, your peers. And you want to also take time to apply your knowledge. Okay. It is self-paced, but if you're an international student, you have a minimum requirement of 9 credits or 3 courses that you have to take in a semester. It's a state-funded program. For cohort and online, it's a slightly different, meaning there are less tracks and there are only specific tracks. So there is, for cohort, there's a data science and an accounting analytics track, and those are handled by different program support. And in the online, you can only do a data science or a data engineering track. So I talked about the flexible tracks in there, right? So our program requires 36 credits, where 18 credits are core and 18 credits are electives. When you take the electives, you can take from any of the 11 tracks that I've noted below, right? In your diploma that you get at the end of your program, it doesn't state a particular track, which helps you. Therefore, maybe you can take 1 course in marketing and 2 courses in healthcare. So you get a variety of knowledge in different subject matter, because having domain knowledge when you're a master's student is important, because most of the time when you apply for a job, the domain knowledge is how proficient you are in that domain will add value to your application or your interview in that. So going to that core courses and electives, right? Our programs are fall, spring, and summer. Most of the students join in fall, but there is a lot of students who join in spring. Summer, there are limited students, and there are less number of courses that are available for summer students. Okay, the application deadline is for your fall semester is May 1st, for your spring semester is October, and your summer semester is March 1st. Now, we also accept application outside these deadlines. You just pay the late fee for it. Okay. This is a STEM designated program. The beauty of having a STEM designated program in a business school is that now you have business knowledge coupled with your technology knowledge also. So what are the 6 courses that I say that are core? Okay, so we have applied econometrics, you have database foundation. Then you see there are 3 courses that I have in blue, which is basically your business analytics course. You only need to take one of them as your core. But there are many students who probably take the business analytics with R as well as a modeling for business analytics. So the BA with R, the 6356, we consider then as a core, and the other one we will consider it as an elective. Then you have predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics, and also statistics. So typically for our first semester students, the courses that we recommend are, one is there is a mandatory 1 credit professional development course. So what is this course? We have in JSOM, which is our Jindal School of Management, we have our own career management center. So they help students prepare their resumes, have a networking events, have speaking engagements, have interview prep skills that are demonstrated. And you have 8 weeks of your first semester. So either the first 8 weeks or the second 8 weeks that you go and attend this program. Okay. And it helps you tremendously. Students have gone through that and stuck with the guidelines that is provided by the Career Management Center of JSOM. They have found a really good benefit for them to secure their internship and then the job after that. So typical other first semester courses are, one will be the database foundation, another one will be business analytics with R, and the third one will be statistics. So if you don't have, we do have students who come to the program who does not have a technical background. When I say technical, I'm meaning programming background, right? All of this is highly oriented to knowing R, Python. Even though those classes are taught, having a grounding in those languages will help you. So we do have boot camps before every semester starts that our leadership, the Business Analytics Leadership Council, puts in. These are your peers. They are already students at our university. They've gone through these programs. And some of our alumni come and help give back to the students of what they have learned. So the database foundations will be SQL. The business analytics will with R is R basically. And advanced statistics is basically statistics. And then we also have the boot camp in Python, because there is another course if sometimes students take in the first semester is our programming fundamentals for business analytics course that has both R and Python in it. So first 8 weeks is R and the second 8 weeks is Python. Going on to internship requirement. So one of the requirements of our program is that you have to complete an internship, and at least one internship. It can be a 0 credit to 3 credit, okay? So 0 credit means you're not paying any cost to that tuition. That's the only thing that means by 0 credit. If you have an internship and you decide between a 0 and a 3 credit, you still have obligations. You have to sign up for an internship course, and you have obligations within that course based on your 0 to 3 credits, what is required for you to submit. So if you have, let's say, almost like a 240 hour for the entire semester that you're doing an internship, I would say then might as well do a 3 credit internship at that point. Okay. You can only take a 0 credit internship one time. So it can be the first time that you get it, that may be the best time to take it in there. Now, if you don't have internship, which, like our entire program has roughly 900 students, sometimes every student to get an internship in every semester is going to be difficult, right? And we do have an analytics practicum class. And this semester I'm teaching one of those classes where you will do that practicum class in your final semester. If you did not get any internship throughout your program. Now, as an international student that is on F1 visa, you can only start these internships after 2 long semesters. So long semesters are fall and spring. So if you're somebody who is joining us in spring of 25, then you have to do spring of 25, fall of 25, and you can only get an internship in spring of 26. If you want to look at our LinkedIn stories, you can see, looking for the hashtag UTDMSBA, you will find a whole slew of posts by our students who've had internship, and they post about their internship experience, right? So you can get, this is only a small snippet of what you can find in LinkedIn. I want to still give you the confidence that there is tremendous career prospects for this program. Not only every company, every mom and pop shop, every single person, home-based job that you do, right? You have data that you're collecting. In a big company, probably that data collected is in a system and then easy to process. But if it's a mom and pop shop, it's a pizza shop, or a home-based person selling some, let's say, Etsy goods, you still are collecting tremendous amount of data that can be used to help you forecast or prescribe you. If you have a website, you can do some causal analytics and A/B testing to let your customers who come to your website go take a particular track if you want them to buy something. So this is still a field which will continue to grow because especially given the advancements in artificial intelligence and machine learning. We also have umpteen number of student organization. Now, these student organization that you see on the screen now, these are organization within our Jindal School of Management. Is like almost 300 plus student organization in the university. And if there is an organization that you feel that doesn't suit you, but you have an idea, you can go start something like that, an organization, and get students to join. We also have bonus academic certificates that you get. So for example, if you are in the business analytics and AI program, you can get the applied machine learning certificate and also the 3 new ones that we have, which is the applied data engineering for managers, analytics for managers, business decision analytics. All these certificates are given to you without any cost. However, there are requirements. One requirement is that you have to complete the 4 courses listed in that program. Main thing is that you have to apply for those certificate programs. It doesn't come to you automatically. And you have to apply for those programs before. The word before is key here, before you take the last course in that certificate. Okay, so usually when students join, like this fall, when students join, I reminded them, I said, you can always apply for the certificate right in the very beginning. And then you can make a decision, do I want to continue with that certificate or not? And that instead of waiting till the last minute to decide, that may be a good thing to do. Finally, I'm going to say follow us on social media. So if you want to scan this QR code, this will help you know what is going on in our program. Our team is very active in both Instagram and LinkedIn. Obviously, LinkedIn, we will definitely post for these webinars. That's probably where you can join with the registration link if you haven't gone to our UTD website. Instagram is mostly for it's for knowledge. Again, this prospective webinar, you'll find a link in there, but you will see all the different events our leadership council or the program, Sivi and myself, we put in, like for students. We have coming up, this week, we have students who will be registering for next semester for the spring for continuing students that we are providing them advising part workshops, meaning telling them if they have questions on what course to take, we are here to provide them help with that. Okay. And lastly, we have our contact information that you can use. But if you write to the program email, msbuan@utdallas.edu, both of us check that every day, multiple times during the day. So if there is a program-specific question, I would say put it in that email address so one of us will be able to answer you. Now I'm going to leave the PowerPoint slide and we'll take your questions. Let me stop sharing so I can actually go to chat and see what the questions are.
So I have been able to answer all of the questions with links.
Okay.
And so unless anyone else has new questions that they want to put in, I was able to respond. Well, there's a new one, so you can take that one.
Okay. And I think before that, Nurul had his hands raised. So go ahead, Nurul.
Good morning, Sunela and
Good
everyone.
morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Thank you very much for your presentation today. Um, I actually um, sent an email regarding the um, prerequisite courses. I think you also mentioned in the last webinar regarding the calculus. So my question is related to the calculus is it related to the machine learning course that we should try to do the calculus on machine learning, or it would be just simple intermediate calculus? Can you please give an idea?
Yes, so I would say it's intermediate calculus. So if you have done calculus in your high school or undergraduate program and you're proficient in it, because when you send your transcript, the team that credentials it and looks through that will see your calculus courses, and then you are automatically waived. If for it's calculus is a prerequisite to take in the program, which for those students who have never done calculus before. And
Right.
so I would say if you have intermediate knowledge of calculus, that is sufficient. Anything more than that, we will do it in the program. So it's basically to understand what are the derivatives, what is the integral, like, general determinants, matrices, like general things like that is what you need to know.
Thank you very much for your clarification. I have another question.
Go
I have
ahead.
seen the academic calendar that course registration is starting today, right, for the spring intake,
Okay.
and you already
Not
covered that.
No. So yeah,
not
Okay.
registration, just the release of the schedule of classes available. Registration doesn't begin until November 3rd, 4th, whatever that Monday is.
All right. Okay. Thanks for the correction. Um, so you have already discussed about the courses, most likely courses that we can take in the first semester. So my question regarding the R, instead of taking R, is it okay to take SAS in this semester?
Yeah, if the course is available. So let me answer both your questions. One, Sivi has corrected you. The course schedule will be out by end of today. So if you go to coursebook.utdallas.edu, you will already see a little alert in there saying that the courses is loading at this point. It'll be available end of the day. So end of the day Central Time. Okay. Students will, the first time students get to take, who can register are obviously continuing students, right? And then they get an enrollment appointment. And once their enrollment appointment starts, they can register anytime. New students, I do have a webinar for new students who are coming in. Sivi, correct me, I'm wrong. I think it is end of this month.
It's on
And
no, it's on the 30th.
30th, yeah, October 30th. And so new students can only register like the beginning of November. And so students will get the chance to figure out. So when you said with SAS, if that course is running, then you can certainly register for it. But if the course is not running for that semester, then you don't have that course availability. Because so if it is one of the core courses and we have 3 that you can take one of the 3, not necessarily every semester that particular course is running. Sometimes it's only running in fall, it may not run in spring.
Right.
Can I
And
add
sorry,
just
sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Sylvia.
I just want to also let you know that while the schedule of classes, and I apologize, I hadn't turned on my camera yet, the schedule of classes will not be live for viewing until later today. anyone who has been admitted for spring of 25 should be able to go into your Galaxy account to check when your enrollment appointment is. So I will put the steps to do that in the chat, but that is, so tomorrow is the JSOM new spring 25 enrollment webinar. That is, there's one for F1 students in the morning and there's one for domestic students at noon. I highly recommend that if you plan to start this spring that you attend that. And then the programs enrollment webinar specific to the MSBA and AI program is on the 30th, and we will be sending out an email with the information about that. But what's available to view starting today is what classes are available. And please realize that is a living document, so it could change in a way that benefits you or doesn't, right? We'll never really know it. We're always adding and changing classes, but anyone should be able to check their enrollment appointment. So I will send you the steps on where to go in your Galaxy account to be able to see what time your enrollment appointment is. And the biggest thing to realize, it's a 30-minute window. You don't have to enroll in that 30-minute window. That is just the earliest that you will have access to enroll in courses for spring.
Thank you, Sibi.
Thank you, Sibi. Yeah, I understand. Thank you for clarifying. My last question, sorry, I'm taking a little bit time. I heard that from admission office, until I get registered, then I can apply for financial support documents. Actually, I'm a Canadian citizen, so that has to be sent back from UTD once I'm completely registered. So having said so, I need to wait until first week of November then.
Correct. To register, you have to wait till first week of November.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, let me answer Kishan's question on not having work experience, how to get internship. Okay, so you have a couple of questions in there. So yes, if you are a student coming in spring 25, then the earliest as an international student, you can only apply. You can apply for internship next fall, but you can only take an internship next spring, so spring 26, okay? So lack of experience versus like, how do you get an internship? You'll be surprised. There are many companies that will provide you with an internship even without an experience. Getting an experience, our job is, and the Career Management Center's job is to provide you with the opportunity to help you with the resources that are needed, right? To actually get internship or a job is entirely how you present yourself. So that is where we say ability to communicate, articulate it really well, your projects that you do, being professional, and for the interview, for anything that you're reaching out, like not literally stalking people, meaning you send an email. Let's say you send an email to Sivi at 8 o'clock in the morning and she didn't respond by 9. You send me an email at 9. And then I didn't respond by 10. You send Dr. Shaker an email. Like if you keep doing that, that is definitely not professional, right? You got to give, just like the same way, you got to give somebody 24 hours to respond because they are not waiting for your email and only email. That is one part of being professional. So consider that for an internship, that if you keep on nagging somebody, you're not going to get an early response to it, okay? So I would say lack of experience should not be a concern. Having now definitely internship and job opportunities have already increased. I have students, 65 students in my analytics practicum class. These are final semester students who have not got internship before September 3rd. Okay, you'll be surprised. While during they are in my course, 5 of them are already got internship that they have started. So it may not happen at that exact moment that you are thinking of getting the internship, but you will land an internship. I would say the market has definitely picked up. You have a question. GAU said personal statement. Yeah, personal statement is a requirement for, I would say, all the master's course in the Jindal School of Management. Okay, so I am going to now answer the question of, I think, Kirti, okay? Says, I would say if you are new to US, to at least try and come in a week before, because you need time to settle, to know the area. Because let me tell you, if you come the weekend before classes start, you're going to feel overwhelmed. So if you have the luxury, come 10 days to a week before, so you get chance to settle, know the place, know where to, because then you can decide on all the other things before your classes start. Plus you will get, like, you have orientation, the mandatory orientation with ISSO, for international student. You have mandatory orientation with myself and Civi. So, which will help you and then connect you with other students in the program. You'll get to see our BALC Leadership Council. Some of the students will be there. So these are your seniors. And as a result, that I would say at least 10 days to a week. Okay. So the going back to the transcript, official transcript means it's either physical, put in an envelope with a seal provided by the university that you can hand deliver, or the university electronically sends it. You cannot scan and submit anything. That is still unofficial, even if it has a university seal. So hopefully I answered that question. So this is domestic student applying for spring 2025. Yes, you can apply. Only thing, now that the deadline has passed, you have to pay the late fee for the application. Binal has said Python or a technical thing. So if you have not done, this is what I said, if you have not done any programming, there are a couple of things that you can do from your own part, okay? One is, once you apply, you want this program, there are so many free courses on DataCamp or Coursera or YouTube for that matter. I would say just do that from time to time. Now, don't try to do Python and R at the same time. Pick one of them and just learn through that, okay? So you're preparing. You're not going to be proficient, but you're preparing for it. Then once you get admitted, I would recommend that before your classes start, attend the boot camp. The boot camp is also recorded. You can always go back to it. You'll have access to it as long as you are on our student. So you do that. I would say preparation is the key for it. So Pawan, with reference to the overall course fee, I would say depending on how many credits that you take a particular semester, like if you have a 0 credit internship, then there's no cost to that, right? I would say it's around $50,000. That's my best guess if you do not have any scholarship. If you have scholarship, the scholarship is not a fixed amount. It varies for different people depending on, the time the scholarship is awarded. At the time, like your grades that are coming in, your GMAT or GRE score, it has a varied number of elements that go into that decision. So I would say if you have a scholarship, it reduces because then you're paying in-state tuition. If you have, once you get into the program, if you got a TA or RA, then your overall fee reduces. If you have an on-campus job, your overall fee reduces. So there's 50,000 is if you have nothing and you don't have a scholarship, you don't have a TA, or you don't have a job. Okay, so I'm going to answer Harshit's question. If one hasn't studied programming or calculus, will you pursue any online? Yeah, so I hope I gave you that answer. I wouldn't say you need to pay for any program to study. There are enough and more free resources. If you really cannot find something, reach out to me. I'm happy to guide you with some links in YouTube. And if you are studying R, if you don't know R at all, then I would say go with some free courses. But if you know R, but you just want to get a little more proficient before coming to campus, there is something called Tidy Tuesday, TIDY Tuesday, that every Tuesday the group puts in what is it, a data set and a question for you to do. And there are a multitude of people who do code alongs with it. So you can watch one of them. Even if you don't know anything, like it's fun to watch those. When I can tell you, when I did my data science masters in my university, like this was something that we regularly did every Tuesday. Okay, so what are the current projects going on in business analytics and AI? Projects meaning research project, that will depend on the instructors who are doing the research. So I don't think I can answer that question without reaching out to a professor who's doing it. I think that's a most likely a question that you should ask each researcher when you are on campus. Connect with them, and they'll be, a lot of people love to talk about what they're doing, so that would be a good time to reach out. Okay. Okay, so answering your question, Chinmaya, you said your GPA is a bit low. So this is where I would say if your GPA is low, go study for your GRE and get an awesome score, like 295, 300. Like those are very good scores. I would say do that because that'll show that, because sometimes students get a lower grade for some reason. I've had students come, they are sick that day that they're taking the exam. They have no choice but to take the exam. So because they only come and tell me after the fact they have taken the exam, right? So they took the exam sick, or there was some issue, personal issue that they had at home, or that affected that mental capability. And I would say, therefore, we don't penalize students who get bad GPA. But that GPA, if GPA is the only thing that you're submitting and you don't have a good GPA, meaning when I say good, above a 3.0, and then it's not a 3.0 in any country, because that's where our credentialing comes. Some universities may not be up to our tier, so there's a calculation that diminishes. So for example, if you have a 3.8 in your university, that may be technically a 3.2 after credentialing. So I would say take the time to do a GRE or a GMAT. And I would say for an analytics course, GRE would be much easier to do.
You can go to the questions starting at 9:09 because I answered
Okay.
the rest.
Okay. 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 So official. Okay. So official transcript basically means either you go to your university and get a document. They have to put it in an envelope, seal it with the university seal stamp, and you physically bring that envelope without opening it and deliver it. So that's official. Or second one is you make the university submit the transcript directly to UTD. So here in US, when I went to do my third master's degree in data science, they needed an undergraduate degree. I already had other degrees from United States. but those were all masters. They needed an undergraduate degree. My undergraduate degree was in India. So I submitted a requirement there to, and somebody, submitted and physically brought me that envelope sealed, which one time when I went to the university that I was going to do my master's in data science, I submitted to them. I take that back. I put that in another envelope and mailed it to them from here. So is programming a mandatory? No, not at all. It's not a mandatory requirement. It's just that bear in mind that if you have not done a programming class before, this is going to be all new to you. And it's not like something you can memorize. Because you cannot memorize it, you need the time to do it. It's advisable that you kind of take some basic course, or main part is that attend the boot camp, and which is typically, I want to say, we haven't given the dates for the boot camp, but it's typically will be like in January before the classes start. Yes. So there are Rishita's question on recruitment and on campus placement. So they do recruitment event, and there are multitude out of them. So UTD Career Center hosts a career fair. JSOM, which is Jindal School of Management's career center, does the on-campus career fair. You also will have access to a tool called Handshake, where employers post their open positions in there that you can apply for. There is one thing you have to bear in mind is none of these are how do I say, given to you by default. Like, for example, you got a 4.0 GPA, you attended everything, you need me to give you a job with another company. That's not how things happen here in US. You have to apply for the job. You have to convince the hiring manager. And once you're here, I will provide you with some guidelines because I've had almost 30-year experience in industry. So I will give you some guidance on how you can do things. Sometimes it'll be as simple as attending these job fairs. You may have no interest in a company, but then just going and talking to somebody and giving them your resume or your business card. Last week, we had an internship panel, meaning peer students in the MSBA and AI program. They basically shared with their peers, how did they land up with a job? And I had two takeaways from that. One was a student who said, very first semester, she went to the UTD's career fair, met up with the company hiring or a talent manager who was there, who just said, hey, we don't have any jobs right now or internships right now. Just wait for a month or 2 months and then look for it. God, lo and behold, she kept checking it, found a job, applied for that, used that talent manager's name as a reference, got an interview, got the job. Another one was technically here in US, if you want to get a job in the Department of Defense or anything defense government related, normally does not go to international students. But I was surprised that I had one student who had a Department of Defense internship. She had to do some extra background check, but she had a job. Okay. So there are things that will change based on your demeanor and how professional you are in securing it and your perseverance. It's not, I would say it's not a one time like you apply and you got a rejection and then now you're upset and you don't apply again. That would be the wrong thing you would do. One of the internship panelists a month ago when she said is that if you got rejection, that's actually a good thing. because you now somebody's noticing your resume. Okay, so I have Ritika has a question. Is the Dean's Excellence completely based on no, it's not completely based on one single factor. It's a multitude of factors that they look at. Your GRE, your experience, your GPA, what are the projects you have done. So I would say criteria-wise, specific if you want, the best place to look for that is in the scholarship portal. That's the best way that you can look.
You can go to Binal's question at 9:13 and then April's question at 9:14.
Okay. Yeah, 294 is a good GRE score, Binal. Okay, so the next one, I don't know, Sivi, you had a question, thumbs up on it, 9:13.
Yeah, if it has a thumbs up, I've answered it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Go to
thank you.
April's
Oh,
question
okay,
at
okay.
9:14. Yep.
Okay, what do you think are the most aspects of? Okay, so the aspects of AI taught into it. So we do have a new course coming up that says AI in Business. Our deep learning, our natural language programming, our applied machine learning, they all have AI components in it. The best thing I would recommend that you do is when you look at courses in our course book, and you can do that with a fall course right now, except for the AI in Business, because that's only a spring course. You can look up in course book, it's public, that you can look up a course and you can look up at the syllabus what is taught in there. I think that would be the best way to answer that question.
Okay, you can scroll down for a while now. I was able to answer all of these.
Okay. I'm going to then scroll fast. So
yeah, so Binal had a question at 9:21 about other scholarships.
Okay. No, I see another one from Ishwar. Oh, this is advanced. Yeah. So there are a couple of scholarships. So if you go to that scholarship portal, that is your key to find what scholarships are available. So for the fall intake, you've answered. Okay, so Agneva's had question 922. Rough timeline, I'm going to say roughly between 3 and 4 weeks, you will know it. So priority deadline for fall 25, the deadline for application is May 1st. And any international transcript, if you have an international transcript, even if you have done a credentialing, still require an UTD credential.
A lot of these are repeat questions that you've already answered.
Yeah, so the one with the multiple transcript, I'm going to say when it asks for undergraduate, you submit undergraduate, and if it asks for master's program, then you submit. Yeah, it will require all
of them. Yeah, even if you don't submit them, the admissions team will reach out to you and require that you provide them. We've already talked about the cost. We've talked about intake deadlines.
Okay, so Binal had a question that if you already got a scholarship, will you be eligible for other scholarship? No. Okay, so Pavan, in terms of professors to contact, again, look in coursebook.utdallas.edu. You will see, and as the best one is to look at the fall one, because the spring will be changing, from time to time. So spring is not a good one to look at. Fall will be, because professors are already teaching that course. Their information is there that you can directly reach out. Okay, the Ishwar says website indicates December 15th. Did you check, Sivi?
No, UTD has different deadlines. JSOM uses their own. JSOM has one deadline for each term. There's no priority deadline in JSOM. Once the application opens, we review them on a rolling basis once they are complete and all pieces are in. The only deadline to make yourself aware of for each term is what JSOM lists. And so for fall, that deadline is May 1st. And again, that really only means to avoid the late application fee, and applications are still accepted after that point.
So Rushita's question is for fall 2026.
That'll open. I have to check my cheat sheet because I forget this every time. I think it's usually after I think it'll be after, it should be open fall 26 actually, because fall 25 has already started. So fall 26 should be open.
And Shaikul has a question of GRE score of 291 with a GPA of 3.44. I would suggest you apply. I don't think you need to take another GPA, a GRE. Okay, I think that answers all the questions that came in today, and we are still on time. I will wait for Sivia to, and I will also put.
Oh, sorry, I apologize. August. Oh, we're in fall 24. I'm sorry. So I am right. Fall 26 will open when fall 25 has started. So it's basically a year before. So right now we're in fall of 24. So fall of 25 is open. You like threw me off with going all the way ahead to 26. So fall of 26's application will open in August of 25.
So Ishwar, the question on GRE, no, for the program, GRE GMAT is not mandatory. What I suggested that is that if you have a good score, go ahead and submit that. If you feel you did not have a good score even after taking it, then don't submit it.
The question about on-campus, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
So the question about on-campus jobs, the university uses a portal called Handshake. I answered someone's question above that your account for Handshake will be created closer to the start of your intake term. Please do not create your own account because that will create a mess. They're going to create an account for you. So if you are starting the program in January, you will probably be given Handshake access in early January. That is where you will go in and see what on-campus jobs are available for students. Our program does not have any, so we can't really speak to what is available. Some students get them easily. Some students say they are never able to get them. It just depends. You'll have to look at and apply for the jobs that appeal to you.
I would also recommend, if you're looking for on-campus jobs, find other students who have jobs, reach out to them, tell them. This is basically networking 101. Reach out to people, ask for help, ask for advice. People want to help out if you ask. Don't expect anybody is going to come to you and say, do you want a job? That's probably unheard of because there are enough and more people who have skill set and who's actively seeking for jobs. So I would say recommend that reach out to students who already have a job there. And that the main way that you're going to find all of this information is come for the events once you're on campus. There are so many events in there. Yes, you will have, it's your time commitment. Anything within the program, there are student organizations that have events. That is how you would connect with other students on campus.
Yes, I wanted to ask that can we defer the admission after getting admission offer letter?
Yes, you can defer at one time, but if you got a scholarship does not differ.
Okay, means we can accept the admission offer letter, and if we do not enroll in into the classes, then we can defer the admission without any fee.
Correct. So what you will have to do is, in order to defer and there is no fee, if you enroll in classes, you want to make sure you remove your enrollment. Yeah.
I
Okay,
had put
thank
the
you.
link for deferral up earlier, but I also just put it again in the chat. Okay, Harshit had a question at 9:28, and then Banal had a question at 9:29.
Okay. Okay, let me. Okay, would you suggest go retake? I would not. So here's a question for you. For 2.8 GPA, did you have technical classes like but not technical, sorry, statistics, calculus, business stat, that if you have classes taken for those, like how were your score?
Hi. So to answer your, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. Um, I did have a statistics level course in my undergraduate. As far as calculus is concerned, I did study that in my high school.
Mhm.
So, and I have completed a course in Python programming, but that was online from University of Michigan. So I just wanted to know where I stand. What do I need to do to
So
solidify
unless
my candidacy? Yeah.
Yeah, unless you submit the application, that's gonna, or you want to call, reach out to me separately and I can look at it. Admission decision is not a one person decision, it's a committee decision. Okay, so it's based on everything that you submit between your GPA, if you submit your GRE GMAT score, if you the your personal statement, your transcript, your recommendation, it's a your resume, so it's a overall part. So I wouldn't just base it on a GPA.
All right. Thank you so
Agniva's question at 9:31.
Okay. GMA optional, but a scholarship based on. So scholarship is for, like, again, it's a competitive landscape, right? So scholarships, they look at your GMAT GRE score, your general GPA, your experience, other projects that you've done. Maybe they'll look at, again, this is a committee-based decision. It's not a one-person decision. Now, for scholarship, as I mentioned earlier, it is not program specific. It is university specific, or I can probably say JSOM specific, right? So there are a lot more applicants in the pool than just the students who are coming for MSBA and AI.
But all applications are reviewed holistically. Just for the Dean's Excellence Scholarship, you must also have official test scores on file. Okay.
And I wanted to confirm that is it necessary to have a GMAT score for scholarship to have
Yes.
a in-state
For the
tuition fees? No?
For the Dean's Excellence Scholarship that requires an application after your admission, for your application to be considered complete, you must have official test scores. So if you have GMAT, it must be sent by GMAC directly to the university. And if you have GRE, it must be sent officially from ETS directly to the university. It is not instantaneous. It takes a couple weeks from when you request them to be sent for the university to receive them and then process them to your account, because they receive them in batches. It's not just your test score that comes, it's hundreds of students' test scores. So they have to post them correctly to your account, and then your scholarship application would be complete. There is one other scholarship that does not require an application or test scores. It's the Program Excellence Scholarship, but again, it's not handled at the program level, even given that title. And that you could, for all these scholarships, you could hear any time between when you've been admitted and or when you apply and when they make their final decisions. And so for spring, that's going to be mid-December.
Okay.
And I can give a little bit more detail or color into the Program Excellence Scholarship. Again, it has guidelines based on your GPA that you have got. And then depending on the program and how many students are in, because it's not an application, right? So how many students are scheduled to join, it'll be allotted based on that. So think of it, we have a big pool of money, and then we base our decisions based on, in that big pool of money, how many students can we include? So that number varies. We cannot say, oh, in spring it'll be only 100 students and in fall it'll be 200. Like there's no specific number in that.
Okay. Thank you. So I want one more advice that I have not given a GMAT and I have a 3.2 GPA. Can I expect in-state tuition fees without GMAT score? They
We
are
can't
very
we can't answer that because it depends on the pool of students that they're
okay.
looking at.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all the questions.
Okay. All right. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you found this useful. If you have general questions, please send it to msbhawan@utdallas.edu and just give us, technically Sylvia looks at it every day, multiple times. So just give us some time to answer your question. Okay. Thank you and have a blessed day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.